In the previous question, if you have numbers in fraction, just use the calculator. But some of you no need to use, but never mind. I use my calculator. So I have 3 over 9. Press equal. Alright? So I have 1 over 3. So let me write down, because I need to reduce to 1 over 3. Like I say, unlike yesterday, now the unknown letters are on top and below. So our job is to simplify. Like what you told me. Let's do it again. What's the meaning of a squared? A times a. So I write down a times a. What's the meaning of b? Just a b, so I write down times b. But below there's also a b. So I write b. Okay. Any common terms you see, you will need to reduce to lowest term. What is the common term I see in the fraction? B, right? There's one B on top, I cancel. There's one B below, I cancel. This is reduced to 1. So, the only thing I need to see is what is left on top on the numerator. 1 times A will give us A squared. What is below? 3. And that will be our final answer. Alright, let's move on to part B. But part B is multiplication of two particular fractions. Multiplication, if you recall, numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. And the guide is number times number, letter times letter. Alright, that's how I do my multiplication. Charsley, what's on top? Also can. But usually I multiply then I simplify. That's easier. Charsley, what's on top? What are the number? 2 and 1, right? 2 times 1 will give us 2. What are the letters I put on top? R square and S. Am I right? Okay, you can see a R square, you can see a S. But what's the meaning of R square? R times R, right? So I write down R times S over. Okay, denominator. What's at the denominator? Number times number. 5 times 6 will give us 30. What is S times R? I don't know. Just write down S times R. There are a few things we can do. Let us do the easier one first. Sanjie, any common term we can reduce? S. Okay, I see one S on top. I also cancel the S below. Is that the only one? There's also one R, right? So I cancel a different direction. Okay, so that now, is there a number? 2 and 30. Of course, you can use your mental calculation, but I want to rely on my calculator. 2 over 30. Like what Priyan said, 1 over 15. So I write down 1 over 15. Check. What are the letters left on top? R. Any letter left below? No. So, is this the final answer? This can be the final answer. But I can also write it another way. What is it? R over 15. Both answers are acceptable because the number 1 is invisible. Okay, in part C, multiplication. You can see bracket means multiply these two fractions together. This is what I saw. Multiplication, numerator times numerator. So what I do is 4 times 3. Can I press immediately? What's 4 times 3? 12. Then I like this. This is what I saw. Teacher, the letter I don't bother. I just continue writing. A times B. Very good. Next, denominator. Number times number, letter times letter. What is 9 times 8? 72. Then I continue to write, but you know, what's the meaning of b squared? B times b. That's the first one. There's a third one. So I multiply. Okay, then I check. Any common ones? Yes, b. So I reduce the b. I cancel one, I cancel one. But there is a number, 12 over 72. Alright? So, 12 divided by 72. 1 over 6. So I write 1 on top and I write 6 below. 1 on top, 6 below. But look on top, what else is left on top? A times A, right? What is A times A? A squared. What is left below? B times B, right? What's the meaning of B times B? B squared. This answer is good, but I can write another way. What's another way? Just write the A square only. No need to write the invisible one. Okay? Both are okay. Next. This one. Alright, I cannot multiply them together until I make a fraction. Is 6 a fraction? How to write 6 as a fraction? Over 1. Again, numerator times numerator. What is 6 times 3? 18. I write B times C. Over. What is 1 times 2? 2. What is the meaning of C squared? C times C. Okay. There are two things to do. First thing, any common term to reduce. C. I cancel. Then the number, I press calculator. This is the part a lot of you ask me. So, 18 over 2. Teacher, don't have fraction. It's just number 9. What's the meaning of 9? 9 over 1. Meaning, number 9 over 1. What's on top? Any more letter? B. Any letter below? C. Is this the only way I write my answer? I can have an invisible one as well. So you can also write 9B over C. Both answers are acceptable. Last but not least. Okay, this one looks very complicated. Alright, so what I need to do? The negative belongs where? On top or below? On top. So I rewrite. Negative 5C 8D squared times negative CD. What's the meaning of negative CD? There's an invisible one, in case you can't see. Over 10C. Again, numerator times numerator. Press the calculator. What is negative 5 times negative 1? So I press. Negative 5 multiplied by negative 1. Because a lot of your teacher positive or negative. When I press the calculator, I'll get 5. So write down 5 on top. There's a C times D. Over. Below I have 8 times 10. Quite straightforward. 8 times 10 will give us 80. Number times number, letter. What's the meaning of D squared? D times D. Is that the only term? There's one more. C. Okay, now reduce to lowest term. What are the letters I need to reduce? I saw a C here. I must cancel a C on top. Any more? D. Okay, two things to do. First thing, I check the number using calculator. 5 divided by 80. 1 over 16. 1 on top, 16 below. 1 on top, 16 below. What are the letters left? C on top, right? How about below? Any letter left below? D. This answer is good, but there is another way I can write this answer. Very good. You all know there's an invisible one. Alright? And this will sum up the whole practice over here. Alright?